you take a moment and pray with me? Most gracious and loving God, may the words of my mouth and the meditations of all of our hearts be pleasable and accepting in your sight, our rock and our redeemer. Amen. Well, have you ever heard the song that goes something like this? Come away with me into the night. Come away with me and I'll never stop loving you. Or perhaps this is one you like better. Good night, sweetheart, good night. Well, it's time to go. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart, good night. Or perhaps there's a more modern tune that you like that goes something like this. If I had $1 million, I would buy you a monkey. Because haven't you always wanted a monkey? If I had $1 million, I would buy your love. And we can't forget the Beatles, who told us that all we needed was love. Or Frank Sinatra, who sang, I've got the world on a string, just sitting on my finger. What a world, oh what a life, when I'm in love. Love songs have been written for generations to share that spring-like feeling that love brings into our lives. And for some people, love cannot be really expressed in the lyrics of music, so they write things like poetry. Things like Tina Sisternick's words from The Bond of Creating Life. What a glorious day, when our souls entwine and our hearts dance together. Or who could forget the classic words from Shakespeare? Good night, parting is such sweet sorrow, that I shall say good night, till it be morrow. Or perhaps a little later in his work in Romeo and Juliet, he shares, my bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite. And for some of us, poetry is not our love language. So maybe you can relate better to the idea of loving a sports team. Yesterday at the WVU Marshall game, I saw people with shirts that read, True Love, with the WVU emblem next to it. The shirt sparked some conversation and perhaps a bit of controversy in the section I found myself sitting in. Mind you, there were 4 of us in green shirts, surrounded by everyone in gold and blue. One of the green shirts was sitting next to a man in a blue top. They were a couple. And some people said, true love for your sport would be hard to compromise to marry someone from the other team. After all, we do have expectations, don't we, of our love? So it could be hard to compromise. We expect that our team, or our true love, as some would like to say it, win. We expect that they perform well, that they entertain us, that they defeat the other team, and most of all, that they make us proud to brag on them the next day. But too often, is reality. Some of us are facing more than others this morning. We experience disappointment when our love doesn't meet our expectations. If the relationship of a fan and team is true love, then what does one do when a person they want to be romantically involved with, or perhaps just build a relationship with the church, is a fan of the other team, a true lover? What would that love language look like? That was a good question that was asked yesterday, I thought. And amidst the, rivalry taking place, yesterday, as well as all the poetry that I've shared and love songs, remind us that there's a need to celebrate love. And we also have much to celebrate as Christians in the love that we share with Jesus and God. Song of Songs this morning is frequently referred to as the Song of Solomon. It's a reminder that some say Solomon wrote down about love and the relationship we have between God and Jesus. There are a few places in the Bible that we have such a glimpse to explore the detailed nature of God's love for us and how we should love God back. Song of Songs is a poem, in a sense a love song, a model of language for our love and relationship with God. Although we only have read a short portion of the text this morning, I think there are 5 things that we can take away from this passage, and they are the following. First, you have to get to know God's story. 2, you have to spend time with God. 3, you have to seek to please God in all that you do. 4, There will be periods of distance and closeness in your relationship with God, and that's okay. And lastly, we have to have intimate communication with God. So first, like any relationship, you must get to know the person's story in order to really know who he or she really is. It's no different in our relationship with God. And we have the Word of God to learn some of God's story. We should be familiar with the Word of God. It will tell us a lot about who God is and his relationship to creation. God's story doesn't end with the Bible, however. We know that we have other opportunities to explore God and God's story by reading other books from history. We can even read diaries from family members, perhaps family Bibles, where they share their own experience of God in their lives. And let's not forget that we have people here today that we can talk to and hear their experience of God and learn more about God's story. One of the beautiful things about knowing someone, as you get to know their story and build a relationship, is that the story does not end before you come along. It is ever changing and unfolding with each day. And as the story unfolds, you become a character in their story. You also gain a witness that is to be shared with the world. You will learn more about God than you knew before. And I don't know about you, but that seems like something exciting to me, to be a part of God's story. Maybe it's like what the hymn writer said, I love to tell the story of Jesus and his glory. Oh, how I love to tell the story of Jesus and his love. Or maybe it's just like young love that's so excited to tell the world that they found that one for them. Perhaps you will love God's story so much that this is a witness that you cannot hide from the world, but yet be on fire to share. Second, Song of Songs is a reminder that relationship means we have to spend time with God or with another person, right? So we should spend time each and every day with our Lord, not just Sunday mornings. Each and every day we should check in with God, asking questions like, how's it going so far? Lord, I need this from you today. Or will you take on this worry of my friend? Is there anything that we can do about that together? Is there anything you need me to do in this world? Spending time with God goes beyond our prayers. Just like lovers find time to sit and stare each other in the eye, or perhaps they have time to go on dates, we too should be spending time with God. Everyone has probably experienced a place in the world, or perhaps even in their own home, where they feel really connected to nature or to God. You go there to feel or see God on a regular basis. And if you can't go there in person, you might look at a picture. But spending time with God gives us permission to take time off from our busy lives and to really be with God. So my friends, if it's going on a boat ride that works for you, go on a boat ride. If it's taking a hike, take a hike. If it's sitting on your back porch with a good book, then sit on that back porch with a good book. And if it's holding that baby a little while longer, you can do that too. Whatever it is that connects you to God, do it. Make it a priority in your relationship with God. If you're not spending time with God, then where do you expect your relationship to go? Third, at all times we're to seek to please God. In any committed relationship, we seek to please our partner. Just like true love with sports fans see their team playing to get the big win, and the fans being present to support them along the way to get the big W. In a relationship with God, we are to do the same thing. We should strive to obey the Word of God, which means we take seriously our commitment to loving the neighbor as ourselves, putting God first in our lives, doing justice, loving mercy, walking humbly. It also means we strive to live our life by the 3 simple rules, where we at all times do good, strive to do no harm, and stay in love with God. It may sound easy, but for anyone who's ever been in a relationship with someone, friend, lover, Lord, you know it's not. It's not always easy to please another person. Sports teams lose. People fail our expectations, and we often find ourselves in sin. I like how a previous boss of mine worked things out with his wife when they couldn't always have matching expectations of one another. They were sort of opposites in a sense. He liked Mexican food, she liked Italian. He'd want to stay home and watch football, and she'd want to go to the local park for the concert. So instead of allowing their differences to separate them, they found a system that would help provide compromise in a sense. They came up with a number chart, 1 to 5. 1 was, I can't compromise at all in this, stance of mine. 5 was, I may not be crazy about it, but I'd be willing to go. They'd each pick a number for whatever event it was. They add them together, divide by 2. If the number was above 3, they went to whatever event it was they were compromising on. If it was below 3, they stayed home or found something else to compromise on. So for them it worked, right? It, in his words, eliminated a lot of unnecessary fighting. But we may not be able to play a numbers game with God exactly in our lives, but we must find a way to please God in all that we do, especially when the moments come in our relationship when we're asked to do things that we really don't want to do. 4th, like any relationship, there will be moments of great closeness as well as great distance. Have you ever experienced that in your relationship with God? It scares some people when they find God to be distant, when one day God had been so close. But don't be alarmed by the ups and the downs. It is par for the course in any relationship, including our relationship with God. The distance will not destroy your relationship. It actually might make it stronger. Distance provides an opportunity for us to learn what our relationship to God really means to us. It's also an opportunity to grow ourselves and to grow our relationship. Sometimes being apart will help you understand how much you love someone, appreciate what they do in your life, and how much you need to be with that person. In the moments of distance that will occur in your relationship with God, I hope you remember that you are not the first person in this world, and you won't be the last to have experienced this emotion. Just look at the scriptures. There are places where we see people describing their distance from God by saying that God was hiding, and that God even turned God's face away. But soon God returns to the people, and their descriptions mimic ours of the highs and the lows. The other thing that we can do in those distant moments is to spend time with God. Even if you do not feel God, you can still find a way to sit on the porch, or draw your pictures, or go on a hike, or do whatever it is that normally works for you to bring you close to God. Keep up your practice. One day it will eventually return you to the place of closeness. And if you're like me and can be a Debbie Downer at times, you might need a reminder that you can survive the darkest of days in the journey. And on the days that feel so apart from God, you might just think of a poem that helps get me through. It reads, I feel the sun, even when I can't see it. I believe in love, even when I cannot feel it. And I believe in God, even when I cannot find Him. It's actually a poem that's set to music that I leave on my iPad, and I like to listen to it on a regular basis on my bad days. On a day that I need to be reminded that I can go on, that there is hope for a future, I listen to the song. It gives me strength, because the person that wrote this song wrote it during the time of World War II when he or she was hiding in a cave. I don't know about you, but can you imagine hiding in a cave and finding the strength? The only thing for you to write on the wall would be that. I feel the sun, even when I can't see it. I can believe in love, even when I cannot feel it. And I can believe in God, even when I cannot find Him. Pretty strong words. Words that get me through bad days. So I think if you can believe in God, even when you have a hard time finding God, one day you will find God and God's love again. Lastly, we are to have an intimate connection with God through our communication. Just like some of the Psalms or the Song of Songs, we need to develop a pattern of communication with God in our relationship that reflects listening and sensitivity. In any relationship, communication is key. It is no different when it comes to a relationship with God. Have you ever seen a couple, or perhaps you're a part of a couple or a family that sort of does an exchange like the following? Did you take that garbage out like I asked? Yes, dear. And did you read that article I gave you about our son's soccer team? Oh, yeah. And did you take the dog for a walk? Uh-huh. Did you have a good day at work? Sure. And the last one, did you go to Mars and back in a day and have fun? Well, yes, dear, of course. Obviously not paying attention, right? We need to be careful that our communication with God doesn't resemble one that I just shared with you a moment ago. We're to listen to God with sensitive ears, being attentive to every word in our lives. Do we not expect the same thing of God when we turn to Him? If we do not listen with open hearts and ears, then it's going to be difficult to find out what we need to do in our relationship with God. How are we going to continue to please God? How are we going to know more of God's story? Communication is a two-way street, so be sure to let God do some of the talking as you work on your intimate communication. Relationships aren't easy, no matter what type they are. Friendship, that of lovers, or that of Lord and servant. Our relationship with God should be no exception. However, the good news on this day is that we believe in a God who gives us grace in our relationship with Him. And although we have God's grace on our side, we still must remember that the Song of Songs provides for us a unique opportunity to explore the Word of God and transform our relationship with God. Are you willing this week, in the coming weeks, months, years, to dig deep, do the hard work of building and maintaining a relationship with God, through the highs and the lows? And are you willing to listen for God's whisper, urging you to arise, my love, my fair one, and come away? Maybe so for you.